Marty is with the Kilkenny camp.
Well, as you can imagine, Des, it's a room here in the City West that's full of mixed emotions. Delighted, of course, to be still in the All-Ireland final and disappointed to have not won it. But who better to describe it all are the manager of the Kilkenny team and, of course, the man himself, Henry Shefflin. But first of all, Brian Cody, how do you feel? Are you delighted to be still alive? Are you disappointed you didn't win it?
I suppose just a strange feeling, Marty. You know, it's different to what we would have experienced before in All-Ireland finals. You know, you realise coming up there's always a potential for winning or for losing, and today there's a third potential, obviously, which seldom happens, obviously. And you know, the game was a draw, which means nobody's gone home with the McCarthy Cup. It means 3 weeks' time, two teams will go and do a battle again.
Henry, was there ever any doubt when you stood over that penalty, were you going to go for a goal or take the point? What was your first option?
Yeah, well, my first option obviously was the one I decided to go with, but I'll be honest, I did think about it, you know, but I suppose at that stage of the match it was critical that, you know, if they'd have stopped it, you know, we were really going to be under pressure, so it was going to be a big score, so I suppose I put the trust in the backs that we could hold out, but unfortunately they got a free or two and that brought them back level. Final question, how do you prepare for an All-Ireland final replay? Because this is new even for you, despite your illustrious career. You have 3 weeks of a gap.
Yeah, it's different, it's uncharted territory, you know, and obviously we'll have to get together and look at things. It won't be my just decision, like, I mean, we'll deal with all the Martin and Mick and the medical team and everybody else and look at it and see exactly what's the best way forward, because like I said, it is uncharted territory, because obviously all teams will be hoping to, say, peak physically and mentally, everything for All-Ireland final day, but now we have to just regroup. But look at being in the All-Ireland final in 3 weeks' time is a nice place to be.
Absolutely, and we are all looking forward to it. Henry Shefflin and Brian Cody, thank you both for joining us. So that gives you a snapshot of what the feeling is like.
Hotel.
Well, Des, I'm here at the Regency Hotel, not too far in actual fact from Croke Park. This is the Galway after-match function. Now, they were hoping, of course, this was going to be their victory banquet. It's not that. It's not a losing one either. And I think the atmosphere here is a little bit like after the match itself today. There's a sense of unfinished business, of course, because we all have to do this again in 3 weeks' time. And with me at the moment here, I have the Galway manager, Anthony Cunningham, and also Galway captain, Fergal Moore. Lads, thanks very much indeed for joining me. Anthony, you've had a couple of hours now to reflect on today's game. What are your thoughts?
Well, I suppose it's a game that could have gone either way, really, and we're delighted to still be in the championship. We're unbeaten for 2012, really. We're facing a third game now against Kilkenny, and we're really looking forward to it. I think every player that we've now had a chance to reflect on is really looking forward to 3 weeks' time, and it'll be onwards and upwards for us.
Fergal, watching that as a spectator, first half very tense, second half helter-skelter. What was it like to play in?
It was a typical All-Ireland final, I think, Michael. You know, against Kilkenny, it was always going to be a tight game and a huge battle, and that's what it was. And it went right down to the wire, and we're extremely happy to get the replay.
Nobody's been in this situation, Anthony, since 1959. You now have to plan for that replay. Normally, you've either won or you've lost, and you know where you stand. What's the plan now for the rest of the week?
Well, we go back to training on Tuesday night. Unfortunately, we can't stay for the end of the banquet here, so we go home in a couple of hours. And we had some recuperation there in the pool with the lads there at 7 o'clock. And Tuesday night will be a light session, but we'll just assess injuries and get ready again. And you know, we're really looking forward to it. We have a young developing team, and we're going to take a huge learning experience from this day and kick on from here.
Well, Anthony, if the next day is as good a match as today was, we're all looking forward to it. So, Des, that's it. Not a victory banquet here, as I said, at the Regency Hotel, but I've been talking to some of the people who've been staying here for the weekend. They had a very good night last night. In actual fact, some of them might just actually fancy a quiet night tonight.
Yeah, I think Michael might be one of them, but that's conjecture.
Gesture. Cut the ticket prices to €50 per ticket. Like, give someone a break. Like, it's a big plus having a replay, and it'd be a nice gesture.
Yeah, I agree with Sir. Like, I go to half price even. Like, I think they have a great chance now to give a good PR. You know, and maybe tickets for families as well.
€80 a day, too much. So
right,
definitely.
Very briefly, one of your reply. I paid 80. Why should he pay 40 next week?
Des, if you go to the Saw Doctors and you're sitting up near the stage, €80. But if you're 30 or 40 yards at the back, it'll be €20 or €30. Don't tell me that a ticket in the Devon end, €80 is the same as a Hogan Stand ticket, €80. Like,
it's not.
It doesn't add up.
But if I go to the Saw Doctors on Friday and it's 80 and it's only 40 on Saturday.
Oh, but you're not going to penalise someone for it because it's a replay. Like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, like, definitely the ticket situation, it's very dear.
Alternatively, tell everyone, go back with their stubs again and pay €40 or whatever, get their...
But then your neighbour who shouldn't have got a ticket the first time is getting one the second time. That makes it worse.
It comes down to the workers in the vineyard days, doesn't it? Just because, you know, people get you know, a bit of generosity. Are we going to crib about that?
No, we're not. Okay, time to reflect on the minor final.